We got sheep. You are playing versus Robo Big Bear. Are you playing versus Catpie? I can't remember if this is their tag right now. Oh, it's Graham playing the Catpie team, right? I was like, I don't think this is Catpie. All right, we know the deal with Graham. I will also warn you, Tossel. I don't know how good my advice could ever possibly be for Val. She is probably one of the characters I'm the least familiar with. I will put that disclaimer out immediately. All right. How are we dealing with this matchup? What are the things we're doing? Dash block round start, get set by laser, hit the assist, weaving around the laser, push block you into the corner. Caught him trying to escape. Looking good so far. Caught him pressing because it's Graham. A little bit of weird mix. A little bit of hesitation. Hitting the assist. This is kind of where you want to be just going. You have a couple of options here. You have H-gun to try and catch them. You have up back to try and just keep them in the corner. Or you have an aggressive jump forward, try and block a beam, and then press after, like air-to-air-ish sort of deal. Because now she gets to do the funny, haha, I'm Robo. I'm landing on you with an ambiguous left-right that is relatively hard to anti-air. Although double does have some pretty good anti-airs, so you might want to try messing with those a little bit. Just experiment how you feel about them. And now we're getting bomboed, mixed. Yes, congratulations, you lost it once. Didn't get your super? That's just unfortunate. Sorry. Redemption. It's a cute bubble snap. What's your incoming? Somewhat meaty button. I think you just want a meaty projectile. Alright, sick. Not very many complaints game one. Round start, up forward jump medium kick. Aggressive, but not bad. That works. Pretty good. Not getting her dash blocks. Yeah. Haha, funny Robo. Again, yeah, you were kind of en route to intercept and then just got caught a little early. At what spacing did this happen? Okay, yeah, 6 HP is a little too far to do much there. I kind of want to say call it anyway, just to discourage a couple of options, but I don't know if I'm the best judge of if that's the greatest option or not. Okay, she's stuck in the corner. She ran under you, man. You're jumping a little bit too much. But, I mean, you were also probably trying to catch the super jump helicopter, which has been their escape so far. One thing I will say is I've been seeing you do this. And So you're kind of like dashing up, being patient, doing typical versus robo things, and then you're calling Spiral as a wall. I honestly think, one, because it doesn't have Endbone, it's kind of sketchy, just because of it's not like a DP assist or anything, so she can get tagged here, she can get checked. She also doesn't move that far forward as Spiral. And when you're trying to take away options, so like for dealing with the Robo matchup, you're trying to force her into a specific spot where she has to commit to get out, and you're calling her up for out. She's like trying to escape. This doesn't do all that much. I feel like 6 HP is a much better assist for doing this, personally. It just chokes off a lot more space. Tried to catch them leaving, got caught favoring Brass. And now they have the full screen turn away, and you're trying because this matchup blows. Robo doesn't really have a way to full screen combo. I'd honestly probably just tag to Eliza. Like, the Eliza matchup isn't fun either, but I think it's more playable than this. Went for Throne. She can do that? Yeah. Yeah. It's a pain matchup. Especially... Yeah. Rello's really good at running away. You did do one thing that was like, you let the boat rock for a while, and then right at the end you did caught. In my experience, that very rarely catches people, just because they're like, they're gonna do something to cancel out of the caught. It's hard to punish, but usually they're close afterwards, so you kind of let them pick their poison. Just a thing to be thinking about. Tech throw. We are doing all of this at full NZ, which is really scary. I know you probably don't have set play for 3v2, because almost everyone's just used to set play for 3v3. Just getting a feel for how many more times you'll need to reset. Kind of important, but not entirely sure what this was. Take it you wanted a DHC afterwards again? No. Okay, you just hung her to die. And even then, like, if you DHC'd out, you're dragging Umbi into this awful matchup. And now you're exploding because Graham has optimal routes and 3 meter. And do ratio. Grip. Mix. Get ourselves the Ravenous. Went for Skaroo, but Graham's smashing because it's Graham. Good blocks, really good push block as well. Lacking. We are cashing out, so I really hope this kills. Okay. Although Umbi will be coming in with really awkward hunger. Or just dying. Yeah. Man. When someone's already in the air like this, unless you're convinced they press delayed buttons in the air, so if you're playing against me, for example, doing something like this, an aggressive option is good, but Otherwise, you're just not going to win the air-to-air because their button's going to come out so much faster. So in a situation like this, I'd probably be attempting... I might do stand heavy kick, but I know you hate that button. I don't know if 5 medium punch would actually work here. I'd probably just be defaulting to Horus. It's just really hard to contest her here, is kind of the option. So you need to be... Man, that's so scary, a forward button there. Can also be patient and try and shake it on the chin because you still have the life lead. Don't necessarily need to force the issue immediately. But it's definitely very easy to say in hindsight. You chose the wrong option because you got hit. Trying to work your way through. Very patient. Oh, unfortunate. Played a game of chicken and won. You don't have OTG? Oh no. What? Graham. It works. Does it permanently force 1080p? It might be something in my settings. Oh, I'll figure that out later because I think other people have been complaining about that too. Yeah, it just in general, especially for like the point matchup, double has a phenomenal dash to do dash blocking with. That's what I use a good chunk of the time when playing as Parasol in this matchup. Yeah. Our dash blocks are kind of just getting checked a little bit. Actually, how do you dash block? Okay, you input dash. That's why you get checked a little bit. It's unfortunate, but kind of works that way, but it's really hard to tell someone to just relearn how to dash. I encourage you to practice it, but I'm not going to sit here and say you need to learn how to do it. Yeah. Bimu. Ooh, fun matchup. Again, I honestly might just raw tag into Eliza here, because I don't know. Eliza would take a chunk of damage depending on how they respond, but this is just so painful. Patience. Good DP, good Suki cancel. I do really like the patience. I think you're doing well. Just guessed wrong finally. Let's think about sort of what's going on after this. Okay, this is a little slower than I wanted. No falling button. They tried to contest it with just playing footsies. Fast fall. Then he tried to contest. Yeah. The one small thing I saw there is You could PB the H-beam and then look to absolute guard, but it's minor things and not necessary. Helps you feel a little bit more confident on defense because you can't get hit, and then you can focus on DPing afterwards if you wanted to, or you can just hold whatever comes afterwards. But we'll see. Close. Overextending into brass. Is there anything you can do here? I think it's too late to salvage. If you go back just like a second, I know. Okay, no, never mind. That's just not reasonable to ask whatsoever. I thought you had more time to react and say maybe you could do 2 LK sweep once you saw the thing coming, but no. No one's doing that. That has just come out so fast. Mix. Pressure. One thing you always need to be weighing when you're playing against a Fortune, or Robo Fortune, I am very, very tentative about doing side swap when close to the corner, because if you hit them, it's golden. Like, congratulations, you got the hit. If they block it, you just gave them the whole stage turn away again. It's so painful when they block it. I hate it. Yeah, and then overextending into brass a little bit more. It's really hard not to do if they're calling it when they think you're pressing. Wait, the girl is in. Tried to 6 HP her. Got caught by projectile. Okay, incoming. Munch. What are we doing with this? Out. Ooh. Yep. Thing in the air versus Robo is scary. Committing to boat feels so bad when you do it at the wrong time into brass, to the point where the only thing you can do to salvage it is time caught correctly, jump cancel it, and then block the brass afterward.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
The robot is doing a thing. Good throw. There we go. Hot down back plus assist. Mixing. Getting the child in. You still need one more touch to go, I think. Oh, we put ourselves in overstuffed without killing a character. It is so dangerous trying to be aggressive there. Well, I caught him that time. I told you not to do it, but... It is also one of the best ways to keep yourself safe, because she's not punishing it at that distance, so... Oh, I say that. Land cancel to medium kick, depending on the spacing, and land cancel can just catch you. I caught the timpani mash. You were in the right spot to deal with it anyway. Even if it did come through. Triple overhead. I'm really surprised Graham didn't mash at all. I'm not gonna lie. No, you were right. You set it up. Not quite wrong. Yeah. And going overhead that many times, Graham will be pressing. Air throw. You're not dead off this way. Is this really dead?
The world is full of obvious things.
This character does so much damage. He didn't pick the throw and you lost 80, 70, like, % of your life. For 3 bar. Duo ratio. It's a really good job getting in. Didn't quite get the confirm. The up forward, yep. Hey Yosha. Attacking the throw. Good blocks, good absolute guard. You're closing down space. Good dash blocks. Put the assist. Put it on cooldown. Whatchamacallit. My brain really wants you to call 6 HP here. It won't quite hit the robo, but it keeps her locked in the corner. And so instead, again, what happens is you're down backing, waiting for the robo to approach you, and then calling a non-DP assist as she runs up to you. Oh, the bodyguard. No confirm. Stuck in this god-awful matchup. I'm sorry, I really don't have much advice for this match. I don't play either character and it just looks abysmal. Okay, you're in. Very patient. You... Okay. It's working, so I don't know if you're looking to adjust it after they really start dealing with it, but you really strongly default to just overhead, 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 overhead. Nice. That is filthy. I like that. Really good to medium here. And you also did that right after I said you were going overhead, overhead, overhead all over again. So I really like it. I like the pressure a lot. Yeah, I mean, I'm not phenomenal at the matchup or either of these characters, so it's hard to give you like the nitty-gritty of neutral, which is the most important thing for this matchup. The thing I can tell you is getting the hit and maintaining control, just locking the robo where you want her, is like the most important. And you're doing a really good job about this game. Unfortunately, she's only taken half her health because ratio makes this an absolute nuisance. But in theory, the next time you get the hit, the character's dead. Dash up throw, yep. Another thing that will start happening a lot more as you just use that as your way to deal with her running at you. No, you're dead. Yeah, the down back plus whatever it's called, spiral is actually becoming I feel like a pretty large issue. Especially right there. It's already not a defensive assist, and it's just... It's such a slow startup as well. It's a really dangerous habit. Okay. You're forcing yourself to get into this mode. Understandable. I don't know exactly how some of the interactions work, so I'm just gonna spitball a couple ideas that I don't think I've seen, but I do not know if they will actually function in game or not. So if these are like complete nonsense, just disregard. But I don't know how much I've seen you super jump a zombie in the matchup. Obviously, it's been hard for you to get off the ground, but I saw a couple times in that matchup when you had the meter to actually set up behind it to just buy yourself the time. Also, I don't know how often you've been calling 6 HP like this, but this is where I want to be seeing 6 HP. You want to be forcing her to just stay in a spot. Brass counter call buys them a chunk of time, but she's still locked in the corner for now. Yeah, I mean, the whole purpose of this team is to be obnoxious as possible and then ship you out. Here we see the habit again, and you're just getting rolled for it. Two character for one bar, and now you're stuck in one of the worst matchups in the game. You're in. How much do you use this opportunity? For head. For head again. I agree. Don't cash out. Munch. Oh, it did kill. But you didn't get the hunger, which is unfortunate. Was that the one you wanted? Yeah, ambient advantage is exactly where she wants to be. Misjudged damage because duo ratio. Yeah. It happens. Yeah, 3 more games. Watch through. Hopefully I can glean a little bit more. I don't know how much I've seen you dash up throw. I've if you do it a lot more than I think I've been seeing, you're doing it a good amount. The only time I remember seeing it is the one time you guessed wrong and they up forward jump medium punched it. It's a pretty good option, especially versus Cat Pie, whose game plan typically seems to be wait for you to approach and then call brass as he expects you to be pressing a button. Oop. That was a little bit of spaghetti, and now she's out. I do like the use of jump light kick to get a little bit more momentum, make yourself smaller. I don't know how bad Umbi's float is. I forget if she can actually cancel it or if she always will just hit the ground. If it's like worth using and can be cancelled out of, it might be something to consider to do after super jumping, just to stay high, but I don't know if I've ever seen a Umbi ever use that move, so I could just be not knowing at all what I'm talking about. Just a thought. I'm trying to draw parallels from the characters I know better. Oh, no confirm. You got the raw tag. They have to block it. That was your option to get Eliza in for free. I'm really surprised they didn't just level 5 off that hit. Yep, they're expecting it. Aggressively contest you. What's the matchup? You gotta run at them, and if you're not ready for them to change directions with one of the fastest dashes in the game, you gotta get clapped. Dash up throw? Okay, yeah, you are going for it. Just not quite in range sometimes. You're in. What are you doing with this? Opt to keep the corner, for the most part. Go for a throw, get up forwarded again. Interesting choice by them. I'm checking frame data. Actually, I should pause while I'm doing this. I want to check one thing. How plus are you on double jab? +0. How plus are you on crouch jab? +5. Okay. The things I'm looking at to just be upfront. Graham has been doing a good chunk of up forward. Oh, you're also +5 on block for 2. Okay. But up forward, I think, would beat that. Where is it? So in places like here, especially versus people who up forward, but this is also just to catch people trying to check you with like a cheeky button as well. Not actual reversals, but just like wake up jab. Doing something meaty every now and then, so like a meaty jab, just one of your fastest options, to keep you an advantage and then let you do things afterwards. Your assist is still on cooldown here, so it's a little bit less effective. But like she'll push block you out, and then you've gotten her yada 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 yada. That sort of deal. Catching people up forwarding with a meaty button is really important, especially versus Robo and the Cat, because they have such good up forward hitboxes. If you can time something that keeps you in advantage if they are forced to block it, and then obviously if you catch them before they are able to block after up forwarding, you just get a free combo. One thing that might help you to think about a little bit more, because you are getting caught out a little bit. I'm still confused by this snap, because I don't think this assist was putting in all that much work. But like the idea. Bodyguard's in the way. I don't know if I've seen you do any sort of neck bite frame traps. How much you want to go for it is up to you. You've postured like you're willing to go for it sometimes, but if you're gonna posture like that, the biggest thing is you need to show you're actually gonna do it, or they're just gonna keep calling you out on it. Very patient, slowly working your way in. Use your multi-hit to catch the armored assist. Oh, you tried to up forward a throw, but they were just a little too high. I really like the idea. Dash up throw. Kill the character. Oh, you probably weren't gonna kill. I agree with the snap. Forget ratio, smile. What the hell was that? And why did it work? I hate it. Graham, please. Okay, you've been given an extra chance and it's a drop. One thing I will say about Graham, I don't know if you know this from playing him, he's... Well, no, you set up monster, so it doesn't matter. He will do low throw, or he'll do throw parry OS. We got like 1 or 2 matches left. Try. I decided I'd just go through it. 1 match left. And then the wrap up, just power through the backlog. Beam. Alright. Caught by the sweep. Hit the assist. I do like that you're looking for every opportunity to do so. She's still stuck in the corner. Jump over her. She got out. Right, do it again. Tedium. I hit that far away. Reflector. Jumps over it. I like the idea of a 6 heavy punch. Unfortunate it doesn't quite catch. Oh, that. Hit the assist, was a gold burst, pressing, throw into the corner. Right. She is in. But the band does have 5 bar. I'd be very careful about and your... Yeah. So... Like... Especially because you're about to get hungry. This... I don't know if this is a preference thing. I know if you get the hit, you can cash out and then deal with your hunger issues. But overextending into a band who has a free PBGC on Spiral, my inclination is to just go, he's forced to block the wall, I'm getting away and managing my resources. This is so scary to me. Graham with it again. Mashing. Unfortunate. Pressing on incoming. Is this really death off the light counter hit? Please, no. I hate this character so much. I hate Graham so much. That's how the team works. You sweat for your life to get in on the robo, and then you make one mistake versus banned, and optimal routes just kill a character. Yeah. So, I definitely had little tidbits about things I think, like how I think some interactions could go, um, that are just scattered throughout, and I don't think I could recall them all. So, uh, take them or leave them as you were listening to them through. I think the small interactions are really where you're at now, and I don't know how much I can help you with that, unfortunately. The one major big habit, like the major issue I saw was assist usage, especially like the one thing I can guarantee is going to be a problem is down back spiral. You're gonna get thrown, you're gonna get hit with an armored assist and happy birthday like we saw earlier. It's so dangerous. It's incredibly dangerous. Um, on the other side, where it's more me thinking about the game and how I think things should go rather than how I know the interactions work, is I think on your offense, especially trying to lock down the robo, calling your assist at specific times. I kind of talked about it specifically in the moment, and it's hard to like describe for every scenario when I think things should be called, but looking at how someone like Odd might use it, granted they're playing different characters, but they still have 6 HP behind them to still kind of hold people down, that sort of deal. Uh, it's interesting because the way you have your team structured, you have 2 wall assists. One is better for you to run away, and I think one is better for you when you're approaching. I think Spiral is an incredible wall to create space for you, like to buy time for yourself, whereas 6 HP you can move forward and control so much distance, and it's really hard for them to check it behind you. And I feel like, I mean, granted, you're playing versus Robo, which is a really particular matchup. You are always going to be forced to go in. So I don't know how differently your team functions outside of that. But they do serve similar functions. And so if you're willing to consider a different assist, I might recommend Butchers or Axe for Eliza. A thing to think about. Axe will give you so much damage and a little bit more mix, but it's up to you. It's your call for comfort. Doubling up on assist archetypes is not necessarily a bad thing. If you have a reason for it, it works. Like, teams are so flexible in this game. I'm not going to tell you how to run your team. Just a thought I had. Yeah, outside of that, I think that was the major issue that I can actually just like talk about a little bit. The assists. Other than that, again, it's the small interactions, small choices. Yeah, and I definitely encourage you to ask around. So like, ping Tyrone, ask him how he plays the double versus Robo matchup. See if he's doing anything that you might be missing, you might not be considering. And true for all the other characters. Odd and Nope are usually, Odd especially, are pretty good about just responding to pings, asking questions about the character. I know that matchup just blows in general, so you might not get much helpful advice other than don't play. Yeah, I think that's about all I have to say for that. If you have other questions or want me to walk through my thought process a little bit more at certain things, ping me, ask a question. If it's a specific timestamp, hit me with the timestamp so it's easier for me to find, and I'll gladly try and reiterate a point or re-explain something differently or walk you further through why I think or why I say the things that I do. And then if you disagree, that's also fine. You play your team at a much higher level than I could play your team, so just trying to give an outside perspective and hope something sticks, or something helps at least. Appreciate y'all for sending in the replays. I apologize that the past couple of weeks have been a little bit of a mess, but we should be back on track. Everything should be good.